going on, everybody? It's Christine out for your nest. I just want to give a word. This could be intuitive. This could be for you. I know I'm sharing this because I'm feeling this, and this just may be beneficial to someone else as well. We are in Scorpio season, right? I am feeling it. I'm feeling it so much so I just don't feel like people, and I don't feel like dealing with people. I don't feel like I just don't feel like dealing with shit. I'm feeling a lot right now. Not overwhelmed at all by my feelings, but just I'm feeling so much that I just want to go into a hermit mode, into silence, into an isolation, and just be. I'm not going into a depression or anything like that. Like, it's nothing like that. It's nothing that I can't, transform from, like a Scorpio. I have Scorpio in my chart, so I'm just feeling the effects of Scorpio season and this new moon energy. And like, people are irking my nerves. Like, yeah. But I do want to say that as we tap into this new moon energy in Scorpio, tap into your shadow, but let's do shadow work a bit different. Let's not really reprimand our shadow. Let's not really point fingers at the shadow or try to pinpoint why the shadow is acting out or lashing out. You may be triggered in this season. And if you are, don't necessarily reprimand your shadow, because those of us that have been doing shadow work, like literally constantly checking and correcting ourselves, we've done a lot of shadow work up until now. So instead of dissecting the shadow, bring the shadow to the table. And what I mean by that, this year, more than any year previously, I'm feeling more led to tap into today, which is the Day of the Dead, if I'm not mistaken, the day after Halloween, when they say the veil is the thinnest. I believe a couple years ago, I believe the veil has just been thin. Like, for me, I've been feeling, a lot. So for me, the veil has already been its thinnest, but a lot of people believe that Halloween and today is when the veil is the most thinnest, and you get the most contact with your ancestors and with the spirit realms. But with that being said, utilize today to bring your shadow to the table with your ancestors. For me and for some of you, you may, cook a meal to honor your ancestors and venerate your ancestors with the meal, with water, with things like that. So if you're one to do that, bring your shadow to that table. Bring your shadow to that dinner table. Bring your shadow to that breakfast table or what have you. And allow your shadow to feel seen, feel heard, feel included. A lot of the times with doing shadow work, sometimes we don't really, integrate our shadow, in a way that we should. Some of us just, that's our shadow self. I don't want to be that, or I don't want to be that, or I don't want to lead with that. Let me just hide it. When shadow work is not about hiding your shadow self, it's about utilizing those shadow energies where when and how they're supposed to be used. This time around, let's go ahead and kind of nurture that shadow self, because that shadow self could be coming from a childlike energy where you was wounded as a child emotionally and maybe physically. It could be coming from a relationship where you were heartbroken. It could be coming from you as a teen where you wasn't valued or you wasn't seen as a teenager from like your parents or your siblings or your friend circles. Like your shadow could come in so many forms. You may be one that deals with anger, and that's how your shadow presents itself. And instead of just hushing up the angry parts of you, just maybe, give that part of your shadow, a hug and say, what, go off. You know what, don't just run around here just going off literally and just being angry, but shield yourself into like the darker parts of yourself. Go silent, you know what I mean, and just value the anger that comes up. You know what I mean? Like, okay, this is coming from it may not be necessary to some, but the feeling of anger is necessary so you can sit with it and address it later. I hope that makes sense. It makes sense to me when it comes to me being who I am. Part of my shadow work is to kind of push myself, utilize my Leo placements and push myself to the limelight and post videos, speak up on things, just kind of push myself to the forefront. And right now, I want to honor my shadow and say, you know what? You don't necessarily have to push yourself to the forefront. Just sit in silence right now. You know what I mean? Come to the forefront in small doses or how you're led to, but maybe sit in silence and don't people, and that's okay. That's okay. Once again, I hope this message, I hope like my story benefits someone else. This message is timeless. It doesn't have to fit necessarily in Scorpio season. It's coming up for me in Scorpio season, just for me to address and sit with my shadow self, because my Scorpio energy comes up in the shadow in my shadow work. But I love y'all. I'm at work, but I'm about to hermit as much as I can at work as possible. I don't know how that's gonna work, but yeah. Happy sunshine, y'all, and love naturally.